I think we're underway now. So yeah, let me start. So welcome back to Appf1 Elite Round 3 Australia. This is going to be a very tricky one. Australia is probably one of the, if not the most difficult tracks on calendar, probably the most hated track on calendar, and it's definitely my least favorite one. It's very tricky. It's very easy to spin. It's even easy to spin if you aren't pushing, because some bumps are just at weird places and you can just lose the car fairly easily, compared to other tracks. So, let's see what you guys have in store for us tonight. Um, I mean, there are two DRS zones, I think, so I mean, it's kind of relatively easily to follow, but difficult to overtake for sure. As we're on board of that sim guy. He's first out on track, I believe, and we'll just stick with him for now. Yeah, he is. Okay, I don't know. Let's leave it at that. So we see him just getting into sector 2. Let's see how many people will be starting on hard tires, but we'll be talking about that later on strategy, because hard tires are horrendous. But we're qualifying now, so qualifying you can really push it, but again, not too much because it's easy to spin and there's a lot of walls. So if you make it too big of a mistake, you can easily DNF. So that might be a problem for the runners. But let's see who's going to look fast. Maybe I should pull up the standings. Currently, it's Mercedes on top with Rills and Pomelo, two Spaniards, as that sim guy is just starting his lap. DRS open, and let's watch what he's going to do. So he's going to stick to the left for turn 1, going to take it very aggressively over that curb. No, he's not. He's going to avoid it completely. Interesting line. That's going to cost him a little bit of time. As he goes left now for turn 3, I believe. Taking it in third. Okay. Again, you can be aggressive on these curbs, kind of. Too aggressive and you spin it. You even have to be, you have to watch out for that. I think it's turn 6. Because even in qualifying, you can easily spin it if you are too aggressive on turn. And now we go down to this long straight, which was straightened out a couple of years ago. Or this long twisty straight, I guess. No DRS on this year's game, next year's game that is. Into the fastest part of the track, the two fastest corners. I don't know, that's for two fast corners at least. Also two easy, corners where you can easily spin here. Final sector, it's very easy to lose that car on those curbs. You need to watch out, a lot of time to be lost in last sector. And especially last corner, you need to watch out that you don't lose the rear and you get enough grip and a good exit. So let's see what's that going to be. It's going to be 117. 117.7. That's his first lap, and P Manila, P2 in the championship currently, putting it 118.2. So 5/10 back for his first lap, but he still has 2 runs, so plenty of time. Let's see. That's not it. That's not it. Is Ghost on a lap? Yes, he is, but let's go to Aces, I believe. It's just no, it's his teammate, Jack O'Laka. Oh, well, they're all pitting without setting lap times. As the Ferrari has spun a Reshka. That last turn is so easily to spin. To avoid that, usually just shift up a gear, but you'll be in 4th or 5th by the end of that exit, so not too easy as Reshka puts in 123. Let's see. Speedrun, what's he gonna do? A 119. So at the moment, a 117 from that sim guy looks like a very clean lap. I gotta say, as nobody really is about to finish a lap. Where is Ghost? There he is. And he's going very slow. So, doing a second lap, I believe. Detail. Oh, as a McLaren has spun. No, has DNF'd in the last corner. Like I said, the walls aren't too far from the track. It's easy to do. As Lifeboat hits that McLaren, it's not ghosted. He thinks it is. That's not very lucky from the Dutchman there. Wow. Well, lucky that I caught that, but that means that the Ferrari of Reshka needs to watch out. Or, let's go back here. No, now they cleared both of the cars away. SCR Trunk was there for quite some time before Lifeboat arrived there, so that's a interesting DNF to say the least. But Lifeboat, quite unlucky this season. I think that's his third time that he doesn't qualify. 3 for 3 now for the Quali Merchant of Appf1. Let's look at what's playing. Okay, last sector, just people trying not to get in the way. Understood. As we're on BRD Calvin's lap, he's just, oh no, he's finishing his out lap. As Ghost hasn't set his lap time yet. Well, he kind of has, but it's definitely a bad lap. And he's invalidated his second run, or third run, I guess. So, no, that's probably his second run. So, we'll see from him later, as Jackalaco's just starting up his lap. Let's see, 4th gear, 5th gear, by the exit of that turn. Yellow flag, I think that's just the Astons getting out of each other's way. At least one would hope so. As Plang takes that very aggressively. What a... Is he gonna slipstream his teammate? Looks like it. No, something else. But there's an Alpha Tower between the two. Who is on the lap. So hopefully nobody held him up. Let's see. Is he gonna take those curbs aggressively? Not very aggressively, but I mean it still is early into the qualifying session, so you don't have to go all out. Up into 4th, as there are yellow flags behind him, but I think those are just the two Astons going slow. As somebody just put another lap. Let's see what Scott is able to do. As he does spin it as well on that last corner, difficult as it is, as I mentioned, that last turn really catching out a lot of people. Yeah, well, rather safe than sorry, I guess, but that's gonna Scott back into the pits. Yeah, that last turn. As he spins again, hopefully that doesn't DNF his car. No, it doesn't. Lucky to be alive. As he needs to watch out. Don't take it aggressively. Like I said, Australia will spit you out even if you're not pushing. So, no margin of error, really. As we're on rails time. He has done a lap already. This is his second try on these softs. So, this is it. Either now or never. As he goes wide, but he doesn't invalidate. But that probably did cost him some time. Let's see, Sector 3. He goes very wide. He doesn't invalidate. Interesting. Hopefully he isn't going to be in his way for his teammate. Probably not. Enough of a gap for the two Astons. That last turn, he needs to watch out that he doesn't spin. He doesn't. It's just flat out to the line now. What is it going to be? It's going to be a 119.1. nice lap. And Plang puts it in P6 with a 119.4. So both Astons now going onto the grass. But both Astons popping it into P, well, the top 10. And nobody behind them, so they won't be blocking anyone. That's good, at least. So going on to Reshka. He's just finishing up his lap. Really starting up a new lap. Let's see, how aggressive is he going to take turn 1? Very aggressive, I think. Anyway, DRS open, down to turn 3. Let's see what gears he's going to use. 4th, 3rd, 3rd. Interesting. So... as he puts in purple first sector, I'm not sure if that's glitch or not, but I mean, he is looking to be on a very fast lap, and he hasn't put in a real lap time yet, so let's see what he's able to do now as he's hugging that inside. Let's see, this fast double curve, and it's too fast. He's spinning and DNFing. Oof, 3 DNFs already. That's going to be annoying for Reshka, but he has put in a lap, so that will see him in front of Lifeboat. Yeah, that fast sector, very tricky, and it's very easy to lose the car. As Ghost with another invalidated lap, he just doesn't, although he has set in a lap, so I'm not sure, because it's better than his previous one, but it's not as good as it should be, probably. Anyway, qualifying maybe not Ghost's strong suit, at least this season so far. So we see Rails on a lap. He's up by nearly 2/10. Let's see if he can keep that pace into the final sector. Let's go on board. Aggressive left turn. No, he understeers right into the gravel, and that's probably not enough time for him to regenerate ERS. Is he going to finish the lap? Probably not. He has to be down on time by at least 3/10. But that's going to send him back into the pits for one last run. Right? Yeah, that's what I would expect. Okay, let's go. Let's see. Okay, the Appf1 is going into the pits. Let's see what Aces is going to do. He's on outlap. Where is it? Scott, there we go. He is now. He didn't spin now, and he hasn't. Not too sure. No, he hasn't. This is now his qualifying lap. Well, we'll be watching that at the end. Let's look at Bergen. He hasn't validated his lap, so he's going to be setting up to do his lap later. Let's see. His teammate BRD Calvin in P5. Let's see. Fastest second sector. That seems like a good time potentially. Oof, lagging as well. Spinning? Okay. Well, he just lagged and spun. That's the weirdest crash I've seen. Well, something just happened, I guess. Let's see. PRL, multi-pairs. Let's see. He hasn't stuck for us. He hasn't set a time yet. He probably is going to be eager to do so. Let's see. What is it going to be? Is it going to be in top 5? As he shifts up already into P5. So very tentative last corner. But it is a tricky one. What is it going to be? 120. That doesn't seem like the fastest time. Not quite. Let's go down to Scott. He's just finishing up his lap. He's up on his time, but he did spin right here last time round, so it is going to be an improvement by 12 seconds, and that's going to put him up into P12. And he spins again, and again, lucky that he doesn't DNF there. I guess he really doesn't like turn 2 on the second time around. And he is in the way of the Alpine, but I don't think that Alpine was on a lap. So he's good. go up to make the Mercedes of Aces vs Kings finishing up his lap. Let's see. It's going to be a 1:18.9, which is going to put him into P4. What a lap. We are going to go into no, he's on that lap. I'm not going on to Ghost yet. So Monteperez is finishing up another lap. And he improves by 0.6 on an old set of softs. But that means that he doesn't have enough time to go into the pits, so that was his last run. It's going to see him put above Scott, but only into P12 for now. As right behind him are two Williams drivers. Let's go. There we go. What is it going to be for Ghost? Oh no, he's just starting his lap. Let's stick on him. He's got potential for pole position. He just needs to keep it clean, keep it on track. As yellow flags are popping up everywhere, but we'll stick on Ghost. Purple first sector, so he is definitely pushing. There's yellow flags in front of him, but that's just a car that's getting out of the way. Hopefully he's on the racing line, but no problem. It's opening up anyway after that. So he's gonna take that way too aggressively. As we look, he missed that by like 3 miles. A little too eager to turn in for the second turn there of that chicane, and that's not going to be a lot of time to recover ERS. Is that Ghost qualifying over? It might be. Is he going again? He is, but he didn't really slow down, so those are going to be some warm tires and not a lot of ERS, but let's see what Ghost can do with that. So he's going again. Let's look at drivers who are currently finishing laps. That's Bergen. Let's see. No, he's just starting a lap. Okay, well. And Miguel also needs to put in a lap. He hasn't yet. So. That seems like an out lap. Yeah. Okay, so these are all laps. People lining up to start their laps. Yeah, it is. Let's see. On 1:17.5, so 1/10 improvement for that sim guy. Is that going to be enough? Maybe. Let's see, where's Ghost? He hasn't validated again! Well, this isn't really Ghost qualifying session again. Potential for pole, but, I mean, you gotta keep it on track to make it count. So we go down the order. See, are there any improvements from the guys behind? Yes, they are, as there's an Aston Martin right on track, not moving. Final sector for Rills. He's up by the tiniest of margins. Let's see if he could do something with that time. He only has to improve by 1.5 tenths to see P5. The RS open. And a Mercedes spinning right after the line. And that's going to be a P4, a 1:18.5, up 2 positions. Nice lap by him. As we see guys. And that was qualifying as far as I can see. Who are we waiting for? I guess playing. There we go. Okay, that was qualifying. So that was dominated by that sim guy in the Red Bull. So it's going to be a Red Bull sandwich for the race. Almost. EJ, Chris, and Miguel not setting in laps. Um, three guys not able to set laps. Interesting. Anyway, so the top five are that sim guy, P Manila, Ghost with that invalidation. At least like 3 times, I believe. Then Rills and Aces in P5. So it'll be an interesting race again. Lifeboat just looking for a challenge, trying to fight himself, fight through the field, I guess, like he has done the last 2 times. So strategies initially will be medium hards or hards mediums, but safety cars probably will be appearing just by the nature of it being Australia. So one probably is gonna look out for starting on hards, then trying to switch on mediums for the first safety car, and then again mediums for the second one. That would be my guess, but hey, I'm just a commentator. It seems to be dry. Not so far. So yeah, let's look at the tire choice. Mediums for the field, not as I would have thought. And only 4 guys on hards: EJ, Chris, Lifeboat, Scott, and Speldron. Oh no, and Aces. As you can see, the recommended strategy from AWS. But I wouldn't bet that, but still, I would say that the soft tire strategy is definitely the worst strategy. I mean, the soft tires do fall off like after 3 laps. Unless there's a safety car with 5 laps to go, I would never go on that tire. As we see the guys warming up their tires. So these 3, I believe they have quite good pace, all 3 of them. So they'll be faster than the guys ahead of them, at least for most of the part. So as we see the tire strategy again, okay, interesting. Let's switch that. Positional change, probably. There we go. As we see them all bunched up. Everyone's just lining up for the grid. Let's see, anybody doing some burnouts? Not quite. As Miguel is just lining up, burning some tires. lining into position, and that's going to be all 18 cars lined up. It's 5 red lights. And away we go. That's some guy getting a, I don't know what of a start. I have no clue. Love the camera angle. As we see, that's some guy getting a mediocre start. Getting hit by P Manila though. And that's opportunity for Ghost to slip through. 4 drivers side by side by side as we see carbon fiber flying in the background, and Ghost losing all of the positions, not quite, sticking around the outside. And it's going to be that sim guy ahead of Rills, ahead of P Manila. Although those two are going to be side by side. Not anymore though. And then the Haas, then Spellrung and Ghost losing 3 positions. That's a unlucky start again. Playing up by 2. And Lifeboat up by 7. Again, what a start on those hard tires. He is looking to make up places. And pushed by Reshka, who's also made up 5 positions. Taking that curve very, very aggressively. That could have been a track limits violation. As he is locking up a little bit. Is he going to go dive down the inside? Not quite. So we're going to look up ahead. As we see Spellrun getting a bad exit from that corner. Ghost trying to make an overtake. He is going to have the inside for turn 1. Inside is the superior line. And he is going to get ahead of Spellrun, although he is going to be in slipstream. But he's not even going to use ERS. So probably no dive bomb by him, as we see Lifeboat staying behind the McLaren for now. ETA Chris pushing Reshka through that turn 3-4 sector, as we see Bergen spinning and Scott and Piero Monteperez having a problem at the start. Let's see Miguel. He has made up 6 positions. And Aces has lost 9. That's been a very unlucky start for him. But we see Miguel dive down the inside of that Alpine. Up into P11. But let's look at playing. He is very close. With the guys in front. Lifeboat pushing on McLaren through that corner. Is he going to go dive down the inside? No, the McLaren is going to block that off. He's in 5th gear through all of that section. That's an interesting line. As we see P Manila spin it out and not able to drift as fast as he would like, because he would have hit cars. So that's going to see him fall down into P15. Unlucky events for him. As it still is that sim guy, then Rails, then the Haas, and Ghost up into P4 now. So he's up 2 positions from where it was after that lap 1. So yeah, either big wins or big losses throughout the fields. Only that sim guy being able to hold positions. This DRS is enabled now, and that's gonna help some, but as far as I can see, this is a DRS train. As the Ferrari Reshka is gonna dive down the inside of Lifeboat, and he is gonna get them through the slow McLaren of FCR Tronc, and that McLaren is gonna lose 2 positions in one corner, but Lifeboat is gonna lose and gain 1 position, and that's gonna nullify his position. What a bizarre overtake, but 2 for 1 for Reshka, so nicely done by him. As there's a yellow flag, and that's Miguel, no, that's P Manila again on the exit of the final corner spinning. Well, you spin once, you spin again, probably, especially with hot tires, as we see an internal battle of the Mercedes. Ace is overtaking Jackalacko. As there's another yellow flag. P. Manila again. He's not having the race that he would have wanted to have, but a safety car could change everything. As long as he doesn't have rear wing damage, and as I say that, he spins into the wall. That wasn't too eloquent, and that is gonna cause a safety car. Full course, or yes it is. So let's see what that's gonna be. That didn't look too safe by him, but I guess that's not for me to judge. Let's see. What is that Sinner gonna do? He's not gonna pit. Is anyone gonna pit behind him? Nobody. Everybody's gonna stay on the medium tire. Interesting. Is Lifeboat gonna box for mediums? No. Nobody's pitting. So... oh, here they are. People in P910. Got it. So that's gonna bring up everybody close again. That sim guy this time doesn't get that big of a gap, but ETA Chris gets a 3-second time penalty under safety car. That's always annoying. Cutting some corners when you don't need to. As we see Bergen boxing. Boxing for hards, both of them. Or all three. So yeah, P13 going down have all boxed at least once. So yeah, let's analyze this. So that sim guy keeps his position again. He's still on P1 Brills, very close behind him. With roughly equal pace than it was BRD, Calvin, and Ghost a little further back. I believe the gap was like 3 seconds. And then came the rest, the midfield. These three trying to make up positions. Okay, well, it seems like safety car is going to be in this lap. These two guys are going to catch up by the end of the lap. Is going to see Piero Montepero's back in the fight, kind of. But he's currently being held up by the slow Haas, but he's good because he doesn't have to go faster than he needs to be going. So now they've caught up to the pack. As we see the message safety car in this lap, and everybody is going to warm up their tires, especially at the latest now. And the hard runners probably should be doing that way earlier because you just can't get any tire temps in those hard tires. So yeah, these guys are probably going to struggle after the safety car restart for at least a little, like half a lap. But let's see. Let's focus at the front. He's going to be holding up the pack. He's probably going to go at the final corner, maybe one earlier. Maybe him and Lifebot are thinking about the team game. When is it best for Lifebot to go at all? No, he's just going to go after that final turn. And he's going to spin it. He's going to lose it on exit. And that's going to be him sent back all the way to last. So that Sim guy losing everything, every single position. That's very unlucky. Losing it on the restart, just a little too eager on those cold tires. It's gonna be a lesson to learn, I guess. Don't push too fast, especially on cold tires, especially in Australia, where you just don't have grip anywhere in any point of time. So that's gonna put Rills up into P1, and he's gonna try and pull away from these two, as Ghost has gotten himself a 3-second time penalty, and he is side by side and now ahead of the Haas around the outside, and up he's into P2. He's gonna be trying to look to get ahead of Rills, or at least catch up and ahead with that 3-second time penalty. And whilst I'm saying that, Lifeboat has gotten himself a 3-second time penalty, so these guys just can't keep it on the track. I mean, I guess that shows that they are pushing. We get some stuff from some viewers, some text. Anyways, let's see. Ghost has caught up now, 8 tenths to Rills, and he has pulled away from the house. So let's see how far he's going to be able to push that. Let's see, is Lifeboat going to be able to make up the position on playing 3 tenths? Or Reshka, he's up right on that Ferrari, and on a compound better tires. He might be looking to eye up a move down the inside. Not quite yet. Lifeboat also single file, not trying to overtake quite yet. Maybe waiting for DRS for a better opportunity. As we see some overtaking on the back of the field, Miguel making a position on FCR trunk. And the inside for Jack Olaco on Monty Perez, but he's going to have the inside now for that final corner. Very nicely done by these guys, and that some guy has caught up now to these guys. He's going to be trying to look down the inside of both of these guys, not quite. As has become the outside for turn 1, and he's forced onto the grass by Piero Morti. As we see yellow flags, that's Ghost in a very dangerous position. He's going to be trying to wiggle his way back, but he's going backwards, and that's going to see him disqualified from session for going the wrong way. I don't know what he was thinking. He should have just parked the car and not slowly driven backwards. But that's going to see him disqualified from session. Wow. I don't know what he was thinking. Same thing happened last week to one of the drivers who spun as well, going backwards. You just can't do that in a race. That'll disqualify you very fast. As we see a whole bunch of guys side by side. That Sim guy dive bombing these guys from very far back, braking way later than all of them, and that's going to see him up one position. Is that going to be 2? Not quite. Although Monty Perez is going to have a little look down the inside. He's not given up on that position yet. But Jack Olaco, oh no, that's Aces. He has lost his front wing. That's why he's gone so slowly. And Plang is also in the pits. So I wonder what has happened to him. As we see Aces get a new front wing. So yeah, let's see. The app's quite low between 2, 3, and 4. So there's a little baby DRS train, I guess, like about 2 seconds behind that, and he's going to be trying to catch up. But he is on a slower compound of tires, and spelled wrong as well, so he's still pulling up very well. As Rushka is pushing. Is he going to look down the inside? Yes, he is. He doesn't quite have him, though. And he's not going to get a better exit. So just fake him out a little bit, having a little look down the inside. Looking when he's going to make some mistakes. Just showing some presence. As Lifeboat has caught up now almost 1 second in like 30 seconds. That didn't make sense. Almost 1 second and half a lap. So these guys are definitely slower than Lifeboat at the moment. Although he might be pushing with some ERS to catch up into that DRS train. And it's going to make out a 3-4 now. And if Lifeboat's not going to get a move on, it's going to be 5 if ETA Chris is going to catch up. As there are yellow flags. I don't see for whom, but that's going to be that same guy diving on the inside of the AppF1 on Scott. That's going to be one place up. P12. As he is going to collide with Scott. Didn't think that he would switch back. That's very unlucky contact there. Easily avoidable. That's going to be frustrating for Scott because he did he was an innocent bystander, I guess. Nothing that he could do. As we go back up. This guy's all single file through Sector 3. As Lifeboat dips his wheel into the gravel. Wanting to play with some sand, maybe. As his tires are definitely the ones with the least grip. Well, no. He's equal in grip with Spellbound. He's keeping up well with BRD. But all these front runners have made up a couple of positions to be there, so all of these guys have had some good starts for now. As we're coming close to halfway point of the Grand Prix. So Spellrun is catching up to the Haas. The hard tire is starting to get better compared to the mediums. And that seems like he's going to eye up a move down the inside. No, down the outside. That's going to open up a opportunity for the Ferrari. Not quite. The Haas giving up that position. But the McLaren going wide. Is he going to lose a position instead of gaining one? These guys side by side. But the McLaren now having the inside, which turns into the outside for the last corner. So that Ferrari making up a position. Wow, so that's a position up basically for the Ferrari. 2 positions, but BRD has pitted for the hard tires now. And now it's going to be Reshka trying to hold up these guys from behind. And as I predicted, ETA Chris has arrived on scene, and that's now 4. It would have been 5 if the Haas hadn't pitted. And that's Lifeboat sending it on the inside. The McLaren just not giving him quite the space that he would have needed to not make contact there. Not sure who's at fault there, but the stewards will definitely be looking at that probably after the race. To me, it seems like a racing incident, but it's not for me to decide. As we see Reshka, or Lifeboat catching Reshka, I should say. And Reshka, let's see when he's going to try and box 4 hards. As all 3 of these guys, the remaining hard runners, in respectively 2nd, 3rd, and 4th position, or 3rd, 4th, and 5th, if Reshka is going to box this lap. As we see that some guy is in the DRS of Jackalacco. And yeah, Reshka is pitting this lap, or has pitted this lap, so that's going to see him down a couple of positions. But where is he going to be compared to Bergen? That's going to be the important question. Has he got enough pace? Not quite. He's going to be behind Bergen, behind the Haas. And he's going to be on cold tires. So he's going to have to watch out for at least half a lap before the tires are going to warm up. As we see, Lifeboat and ETA Chris now pulling away from Spelled Wrong. These two slowly catching Rills. But Rills is on that medium tire, so he still has a whole stint on hard tires. Let's see. Is he the only guy who hasn't pitted yet? No, Hatsunai and Jackalacco both haven't. And is on mediums. That definitely makes sense. So Lifeboat now effectively becomes the race leader as Plang gets 3 seconds. Let's see where Rills comes out compared to Bergen. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be well ahead of the Haas. Yeah, no, ETA Chris is very much so within DRS and slipstreaming in the slipstream of Lifeboat. Lifeboat going to be trying to shake him off. As BDR has, no, his teammate, Bergen has spun. No, Bergen has spun. That was the race. Am I crazy? Wait. One of the asses has spun. Who was race leader? Yeah. Gonna see that that's some guy up into P8, but he still has yet to pit. He's gonna be hoping for a safety car, is my guess. Those mediums aren't looking good. They're probably screaming by now. Is that some guy getting a box? Yes, he is. Yeah, so Bergen spun on his outlap after he pitted. That's some... No, what am I talking about? Calvin. Am I crazy? Okay, let's just move on from this. So yeah. Anyways, Lifeboat into the lead. ETA Chris following him. 6/10 now between the two. But Lifeboat has almost half of his DRS, as both of them cutting that chicane very aggressively, and both of them already having penalties for violating track limits, as BDR Chris is struggling to get out of the pits. So we see Lifeboat going very wide, locking up for the penultimate turn. As there is a spin of Scott, and he's going to lose his front wing. That's very unfortunate, but that's not going to be a safety car. That's going to be him though, down and probably out of contention, because by the time he's going to rejoin, that might just be him getting lapped by Lifeboat and ETA Chris. Let's see. As these two guys are in a league of their own, pulled away with 5 seconds of spilled wrong. let's look at the leader gap. So it's going to cost 18 seconds roughly to have a pit stop, and that's going to be Scott DNFing in the pits. So Lifeboat and ETA Chris, if they pit right now, which they are going to do, that's going to see them right behind Reshka. That's what I'm going to say. Let's see if I was right or wrong. So see ETA Chris jump Lifeboat. That's not him. What is my camera doing? Oh, well, that was weird. It showed me a Williams for ETA Chris. And he has jumped Lifeboat in the... No, he hasn't. What? Okay, that's a McLaren. That looked like a... I swear that looked like a Red Bull. Okay, well... So that looks like Chris got his wing changed. And it is... And Lifeboat did come out right behind Reshka and FCRF Tronc. Go back to gaps. So yeah, 6 seconds. I think that was a wing change probably for ETA Chris. But if that is the case, that's going to be a problem for Lifeboat, because he was holding up very much so with him, and he had to get his wing changed. But Pierre Monteper is retiring from session in the pits. Wasn't his race today. I think Reshka's the net leader. Let's look at the... Oh no, I can just see that here, right? Stops. There we go. No, everybody has stopped. So Miguel is currently our leader. On track as well as on strategy. Okay. Well, let's see. Lifeboat caught up to the McLaren, not overtaking him yet though. And that's gonna see ETA Chris catch up by a whole second. It's gonna be 2 if he's not gonna get on with it. And he isn't. That McLaren very wide for Lifeboat. But now he's just gonna shoot through him, or past him. Around the outside with the superior grip. No, that McLaren is going to try and fight for position. Really didn't want to let Lifeboat go there. But Lifeboat, in the end, ahead of the McLaren of FCRF Tronc. So Lifeboat now unleashed, trying to fight for podium positions, maybe even for the win, but he needs to overtake and pull a 3-second gap if he wants to win this Grand Prix. As we see ETA Chris set the fastest lap. Indeed goes Miguel. Race leader for now. Let's see. That's some guy. He has made an overtake on Jack Galacco finally. Has been a couple of laps since he has been behind him. As Klein makes up the position, I believe, on Seb Male. And ETA Chris down the inside compared to Lifeboat on the outside on FCRF Tronc. And that is going to see him off that position. Yeah, that McLaren has nothing to answer. And he has caught up by 3 seconds to Lifeboat. So ETA Chris very much so still in the game. All 3 of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th runners up by 12 positions, and Miguel up by 17. So him pitting on lap 4 for safety car definitely is paying off currently. He just needs to keep it clean, keep it tidy, and not spin or get any penalties, and he should be good to go. As Lifeboat gets another 3 seconds, he is pushing, but he's going off track. That's not going to help him at all. If anything, he's going to lose P4 and lose it to ETA Chris currently. As we see some fights in the back of the field. As that some guy has caught up 2 aces. And Submale is pushing Plang. As Plang is on the grass, that's not the faster line. Second to see the Alpha. Around the outside, yes, but Plang weirdly hits the wall. It's a weird collision. Hits the inside wall of that non-corner corner. Let's see that soon, guys. Is he going to try and make an overtake before the chicane? Yes, he is. Down the inside of aces. Not quite going to stick yet, but is he going to get the switchback? No, he's going to try and run this around the outside. And he's going to have DRS and ERS activated. That's going to be him ahead of aces by the braking zone. And aces has to concede that position. Although he does run wide a little bit, but aces doesn't quite have the grip and exit speed of catching back up. So that's going to be that same guy up at the P10. Still very unlucky that he spun on that safety car restart, but nice little comeback drive, kind of up 4 positions from where he was after lap 4. Let's see, Lifeboat has caught up to Reshka. So we see him tucking behind the Ferrari, just waiting for DRS. Now using some ERS, that light Ferrari, although is using all of his ERS to try and stay ahead. But Lifeboat, just with that superior grip, able to hang it around the outside, which is at the outside again, so that's not going to help him massively. But that becomes the inside now for the penultimate turn. But the Ferrari putting up a valid fight against Lifeboat, which is going to help ETA Chris. Lifeboat just picking fights at the wrong moments. So Reshka doesn't really want to just be overtaken by Lifeboat. He's fighting back. I'm not sure who he's helping with the most here. I'm guessing ETA Chris. Yeah, he's just holding up both these drivers massively by being in the way. Just parking his car on the exit on turns where you can't overtake. As we see Submale spin it, but not into the wall, so that's going to be a relief for some. Lifeboat might want to have a little look down the inside here. As he hits the back of the Ferrari, it's going to be very close now with him and ETA Chris. ETA Chris not using any ERS though, just sticking behind the Ferrari. The Ferrari doing a beautiful job to help Rills and Miguel just stay in front, create an even bigger gap as Monte Perez leaves the session. Oh, he's been DNF'd since a couple of laps. That indeed. So the Ferrari of Reshka, it's not really a question of if, but when Lifeboat's going to overtake him, but the longer he keeps him behind, the harder it is to pull a gap on him. So what a valiant effort by him, as ETA Chris does a Kevin Magnussen and hits the wall in turn 2. Does he get damage? I don't believe he did, but that was not the softest of hits, as Bergen has spun, but he's not going to be in the way of the guys. So has to watch out, because I believe that he's not ghosted. As Rills has caught up to Miguel, so there is going to be a fight for the lead. Better not miss that. But Lifeboat now, side by side before the corner. He's going to try and hang this around the outside. And he is. Reshka is going to have to concede that position. Finally he does. But he has put in a great fight. Hopefully he does the same with ETA Chris, but it doesn't seem like he is gonna because he doesn't have the ERS anymore to do so. Used it all for Lifeboat to try and keep both of them behind. Let's see. As Rails is within 5/10 of Miguel. He just needs to try and set up an overtake as Miguel is using his ERS too early. As there are yellow flags, and that's Bergen probably again spinning. Yep. Once you spin, you're prone to spin again. It's fairly easy on hot tires. It's fairly easy even on normal tires, but especially when they're hot, they'll just spin again. So, as we go to the race leaders, Miguel and Rills. Rills gonna up a move before the chicane, not quite. And Bergen has retired from session. That is gonna be a safety car. Oh no. I say oh no because that's gonna be, well, we would have had a great fight now. And that was a question of do you box or do you not box or pit. I'm assuming you probably should. If everyone does, everyone's going to be fast. If no one does, nobody's going to be fast. That's a tough call for Miguel. He isn't. Rills isn't. Lifeboat is. Lifeboat thinks he has enough time, as ETA Chris does, to get these softs. What are the McLarens doing? The McLarens are both pitting. So Lifeboat only losing 2 positions, 4 softs. That's a good trade. At least on paper. If Reshko's going to put up as good as a fight as he has done before, that's going to be bad. But it's going to be bad nevertheless for Lifeboat because he is going to Lifeboat because he has to pull away for 6 seconds. With that penalty, that's going to be an almost insurmountable task for even aim for podium finish. But he's going to try to pull away with those softs from the runners behind him. Let's see Jackalacko on those hards. He's going to be maybe a stopper from the guys behind him. That's going to be that opportunity, though, for that sim guy. Although he does have penalties. Let's look at the penalties now. Penalties. So, 9 seconds for ETA Chris. Oh, I didn't see him get that many. So that's even worse news for ETA Chris. And everybody down here having penalties. So, maybe not too bad news for Lifeboat, but ETA Chris, he definitely has a challenge now to try to create a 6-second gap between him and other drivers. As that message I just remembered popped up, that guy getting 5 seconds, so speeding in the pit lane, that's very unfortunate for him, because that didn't help him at all. He's very much so clear from aces. And Jacko didn't pit, so very unnecessary speeding in the pit lane from him. If that's what he got. I just see the 5 seconds and I remember a message. I could be wrong though. We did, oh, never mind. Okay, as we look at the tires. So yeah, as Jacko is going to pit now for softs, and he's not going to get let go. Oh yeah, he is. That was just my view again, I guess. Is he going to come out in front or behind of aces? It's going to be behind. Just behind. Also behind Seb Molly. Now it's going to run to the line, but it is going to be Jacko in front. The safety car is going to be in this lap. Never mind. The Haas pits for another set of softs? Or was he in hards? I thought it said softs for the Haas. So he just pits again. That's going to see everybody doing one more lap on the under safety car, I think. Anyway, so Lifeboat is the leader of the group of softs. And these 3 have the challenge to keep all the soft runners behind. Spelled wrong is the first person without any penalties. No safety car is in this lap, so BDR Kelvin really has a challenge now to fight his way to the group. As I was saying, spelled wrong, the two McLarens, the only two people on the soft running team, I guess, to have no penalties at all. So keeping it clean is very much so a strategy you can strive to be in, or strive to do, because that could win you at least a podium, maybe, if there's some kerfuffle in the front. But let's look at Miguel. When is he gonna go? He's gonna try and warm up all these these hard tires. He's gonna try and not do what that sim guy did 20 something laps ago, lose it on exit here. When he says go, everybody's gonna go. Everybody bunching up already, and he has gone, I believe. Yes, he has. That's gonna be Lifeboat already on the attack of the Ferrari. Is he gonna give him enough space? Yes, he is. He's gonna be using all of his ERS to try and pull away already, as ETA Chris also is trying to look to overtake him, and he has, but that 8 Reshka is crashing, and a whole bunch of crashes going up in the rear, or in the yes, in the back of the field. That sim guy caught up in that, so a whole bunch of people crashing out. That looked like the restart of in real life. So let's keep it realistic, guys. Maybe not in that aspect. As Lifeboat is watching the battle for the lead. That's Rills and Miguel fighting on pace for the lead. Lifeboat just gonna pop through both of them. He's gonna try and set this around the outside, and ETA Chris is also there, so 3 wide, no, 2 wide, and then there's it's gonna be Rills trying to overtake Miguel, not succeeding though, and that's gonna be Rills down 2 positions. Although Lifeboat and ETA Chris are out of scope because they have 6 and 9 seconds of time penalty respectively. This could be a fight Miguel just doesn't want to participate in, because it's very unnecessary for him to lose time here. I would assume that he's not gonna really fight Lifeboat here. So Lifeboat is pushing him as ETA Chris just goes past Lifeboat and Miguel. Lifeboat not as that sim guy retires from session. That's very unlucky. As Lifeboat sometimes doesn't do the smartest overtakes you could be doing. As we're going to concentrate back on Rills and Miguel, because this is for the race lead. Last lap, and it's Rills versus Miguel versus SCRF Tronc. It could be SCRF Tronc's victory in Australia on that soft compound. He's around the outside of the Aston, not quite having the grip. He's too tentative. He should have sent that around the outside. He would have had the grip on those soft tires. Let's see, Miguel defending the inside. The Alpha Aston Martin trying to keep it around the outside, but that's going to be contact, and it is going to be the McLaren of FCRF Tronc benefiting off of that. That's going to be horrible news for Miguel, as he is caught up in that Aston Martin, but that is going to see FCRF Tronc up into P1 by the end of the lap. What a race. As we look back, these guys 3 wide down to the finish line. Kind of. Or at least very close. That's heartbreak for Miguel. It was his victory. It was so close. And then it got taken away. Wow, well, what a last lap. What a interesting Australian Grand Prix we had here. What a fun race to commentate on after the very boring race of Azerbaijan that we had today. Drive of the day, Lifeboat. I'm not too sure about that. I mean, he definitely had some good pace, and he was definitely one of the fastest guys on track, but yeah, well, what a race. Let's see, where did Lifeboat finish with that 6 seconds? He's not even P5. No, he is P2. What? I didn't expect that. Okay, so Lifeboat did get P2. Oh, because of that big crash and everybody behind him did have penalties. Oh, yeah, that is true. So it's going to be FCRF Tronc, another Spaniard, up into P1. Is it 3 times in a row now that Spaniards got the wins? I think so. Not 100% sure though. Anyway, great race by him. Good race by Lifeboat, starting 16th, but that was his fault, crashing into I think it was FCRF Tronc. Then Rills, nice podium. ETA Chris had a great race, just too many penalties. You got to keep it on track. And then Seb Mali, Miguel, spelled wrong aces, BDR Kelvin in the house, and Jack Lacko making up the top 10. So yeah, what a race. Unlucky for Ghost that he was driving backwards. He could have added real spice to this race, but I guess it was spice enough for me. Let's just go on incidents in case anybody needs this. I don't think anybody would ever need it, but just in case. So, yeah, what a race. I guess I'll see you guys next week. Oh no, I won't, because maybe the commentator is going to be back. But regardless, this was Appf1 Elite Australia. Nice race, and congratulations to SCRF Tronc for that win. What a way to do it. Bye-bye.